A little earlier, I spoke to former Prime Minister Sir John Key, who joined Parliament as a National MP at the same time as Minister Collins back in 2002. I began by asking him what he thought the secret was to her longevity in politics.
Well, she outlasted the entire group. There were five of us, actually. Don, Brash, me, Brian, Connell, Sandra Goudie, and, of course, Judith. So she lasted the longest at 24 years. And, look, I think a lot of it's been she's had a real passion to do the job for a long period of time. She's felt that she's been making a contribution in a variety of different roles. I mean, I think she thrived in that political environment. She's quite a tough character in a lot of ways. I always thought that she was kind of like Margaret Thatcher of New Zealand, not for turning.
Yet 24 years in the Parliament, as you say, 18 different ministerial portfolios over that time. What is her legacy?
Well, I think in defence, it'll be seen as being the biggest increase in defence spending really in the history of the country. I mean, to be fair, defence has become a much more critical issue for all countries, partly probably driven, frankly, off Donald Trump forcing countries to examine how much they're bringing to the table. And defence has been more critical, and Judith's been a strong advocate around the cabinet table of that.
An accomplished minister, she never made it into the top job as Prime Minister, though, despite her efforts. Why not?
Oh, I think a lot of those things are always timing. You need to get in the top job. She did that in terms of being leader of the party, but you also need to do that at a time where the electorate wants that change. I mean, I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to be in that position when I came at the back end of Helen Clark's time as Prime Minister, and the country wanted change. That was equally true when Christopher Luxon became the leader, for instance, in Parliament, a short period of time, much shorter than Judith. But there was a real mood for change after the sort of 6 years of the Jacinda Ardern government.
She came off that huge loss in 2020 to Jacinda Ardern. She continued with the hard graft. Some might argue that she was doing some of her best work in the past year. Would you agree with that? Do you think her retirement is a great loss to the country?
Look, I think it's a loss to the National Party, the country, and her electorate. So, yeah, she is a real loss. But that's politics. No one stays forever, and she probably had a better run than most.
Can you share with us a memory, perhaps even something from behind closed doors, that stands out in your mind that encapsulates her both as a politician and as a person?
Well, there were quite a few. I mean, changing the flag, everyone knows my position on that. I wanted to do it. She was vehemently opposed. She's quite a traditionalist, and she wasn't afraid to tell me that she thought I'd completely lost my marbles. So, that's the thing with Judith. What you saw is what you got. She didn't really sugarcoat it. She wasn't afraid who she was saying that to. But, for all of that, I'm the one who would look back and say, she made a real contribution. People will remember her, and that's better than 98% of all people that go into Parliament.
Just finally, Sir John, who came up with the name Crusher Collins? Was it like a PR strategy to be tough on crime? Because she said today that she didn't really like it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I thought she liked it. Look, I can't remember. We didn't. I think the media did, to be fair. But I don't know. It stuck, and did that suit her? I think so. I think she quite enjoyed the concept. And I mean, not that many cars were crushed in the end, but it probably worried a few Boyd races, didn't it?
Sir John Key there. And for the record, we checked, and there were only 3 cars crushed by Crusher Collins, but the moniker certainly stuck, didn't it? Now, her resignation wasn't the only announcement from the government today. Zane joins us now. Zane, what can you tell us?
Yeah, that's right, Sam. The government today announced that the budget will be held on the 28th of May. And the Finance Minister is already warning there will be, quote, no splashing the cash, and that delivering savings and reprioritising expenditure will again feature in the budget. It may be a bit of a tough pill to swallow for some voters, considering many households are still struggling with the cost of living, the likes of food prices and electricity prices still going up. And just to illustrate how tough it's been the past year, inland revenue data shows hardship withdrawals from KiwiSaver surged in 2025 to 58,460, which was 10,000 more than the previous year in 2024. But after a tough few years economically, the government's coffers are low and the government's already borrowing billions just to keep the lights on. So Nicola Willis says her priority is to get the books in order and she says she'll be funding only a limited number of priorities.
OK, Zane, thanks so much.